What do you know about hip hop?
I know a little bit about hip hop. I personally, I like down south hip hop. I feel like South got shit on lock right
Really?
now.
Don't you think some people would beg to differ?
I know a lot of people would, cause New York they been had shit on lock. Like they still popping, but shit, South killing shit.
So, what do you like about Southern hip hop?
I just
What
like
makes it different?
the energy.
The energy.
The energy. Like South hip hop, they probably focus on like club energy. When North hip hop, they just like lyrical. To be from the South, you ain't gotta have no lyrics, but as long as your shit, you got a catchy hook and your beat, 808 Mafia, you good. The radio is used for promotion to get money. But the positive that is always is different crowds. You got a crowd for bad people, you got a crowd for positive people. And like they need that. Everybody need that in today's society. You gotta have a positive crowd. It's like gospel. Like gospel's not going nowhere. Nobody really listen to it, but it's still there.
Right.
People do listen to it.
Right.
It's a crowd for everything.
Okay. So what does hip hop do for you? Like, why do you like hip hop?
I just love hip hop. I just love it. I just like to listen to it. I think everybody listen to it. I just like hip hop. I don't know myself. I just like hip hop. Love music.
So you're right. Everyone does hip hop. White suburban kids are the people that purchase the most hip hop. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I know that too. I know that from experience. Like when I went to school with a lot of white kids, and they be listening to just like old ass hip hop, like fucking KRS-One and fucking old ass D Block and like that real hip hop shit. Like that's yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Like,
I feel like that's what's up. Like they keeping that shit relevant. Like I look on like all these websites and stuff, and they just show people who's popping right now. But like the white kids go back to the roots. Like yo, I don't give a fuck who y'all listen to. I don't give a fuck about a Meek Mill. I'm gonna listen to a fucking KRS-One, Big L, Biggie, all that. I'm listening to that straight beatbox music. Beat sound like if somebody else fucking beatboxing on that shit. Word.
so do you think that more people of color should be doing the same thing? Do you think that there should be more of an appreciation for music that was made in like the 70s and 80s that came before the hip hop that's here now?
Yeah, but I'm a 90s baby. I feel like it's a new millennium. You better get with the shit or you gonna get left. Like, it's a new era. Me personally, I can't listen to all that old shit like that.
Why not?
I'm a 90s baby. I grew up on Jeezy and fucking, you know what I'm saying, all that new urban shit. Fucking, Shoulder Lean and Stanky Leg. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on that. I don't know. I grew up on Tear the Club Up. That's just me personally. I just love that. All that.
But do you think that people should go back though to appreciate, the history that came before us?
I do. I just want to see all them still get money. Like when people get money now, like all the new rappers and stuff, they flashing, flossing. You see these old rappers, you like, I'm looking at them like, damn, they not on here flashing, floss. They must be broke. You know what I'm saying? They probably not getting no more shows and no shit like that. But in reality, all them white kids we was talking about is buying their albums. They getting more money than these people who's giving these mixtapes out for free.
Right.
Because they buying the albums because they real fans. But I still look at them because they old school. They not used to all this Ferrari riding and all that. Like, they just want to get money.
Hip hop represent any parts of your life or your experiences?
Yeah.
Like what? If you could give an example.
Like, hip hop, like you got some rappers like Jeezy or something, they'll tell a life story that you can relate to, like, what do you say?
Like the come up story?
Yeah, like a come up story. Like I was really raised in these streets, like mama, like that's just, you just can relate to it. A lot of people can relate to it. That's why he got a lot of fame. And that's everybody, like they use that shit to get through the day. Like what he had a song called what Locked Up. Everybody like that shit. Everybody done been locked up. It's just shit like that. Not even just Jeezy or down south rappers. A lot of people do that. Like Jewel's on fucking back like Good Cook Crack or some shit like that. He was fucking what's that shit called? What's the Games We Missing? Jewel's best album.
What does he talk about?
He talk about everything. He talk about his son, about being a dad. He talk about cooking work. He talk about fucking making the whistle blow. You know what I'm saying? He just can relate to everything he talking about because he just a regular kid from the neighborhood.
So with that said, do you think that hip hop is a reflection of society?
Yeah, yes it is.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
So with that said also, let's see, like you mentioned that he talks about like being, well, Jeezy talked about being locked up and everybody's been locked up. Like, if that's a problem in society, do you think that like hip hop can help to kind of like work against that, or?
No, they can't, because then you're gonna have people like fucking like those inspirational rappers trying to uplift people. Then you're gonna have people like Chief Keef, a fucking 17-year-old from Chicago, and all he knows is the streets. People gonna still go back to that. They still gonna find somebody who's. It's like a teenager. You know, you always a rebel against anything. Your mom tell you do something you want to do. You don't want to do it all the time. So you just young and crazy and dumb. You gonna always look for that outlet to do whatever you want to do.
So do you think that like commercialized hip hop is like that rebel hip hop towards like?
Yeah, like this the hip hop I'm not supposed to be listening to, but just because they're not swearing, I can listen to it right now. That's what commercial hip hop is.
Okay, that's deep. All right, so how do you think women are represented in hip hop?
They represent it good. They doing their thing.
They're representing good?
Yeah.
Even with the bitches and hoes and the woman half naked and things of that nature? Like in the music video, half naked. Like, how do you feel about that?
It's a new millennium. They getting money. They don't care. Like that's their own opinion. What they doing? Like they could be described as hoes, bitches, and all that, but then they could be going to school full time. You know, that's just what they got to do to get a check. They video vixens and stuff like that.
So then you respect the video vixens because you think it's like a hustle?
It is.
It is a hustle.
Absolutely.
So some rappers, right, they'll have songs and they'll be like giving respect and thanks to their moms, right? And then they'll turn around and call females bitches and hoes, right? So I know that there's a lot of contradictions in hip hop. How do you feel about that?
It's just hip hop. It's just being hip hop, being against everything. I don't know. Being young with a lot of money, without a care in the world. That's what it's about. You don't care about nothing. Your family straight, everybody straight, without a care in the world.
So you just think that money and capitalism runs hip hop? Is that what you think?
Yeah. Well, at least for like young urban artists.
So in that sense, so do you think they're exploited? Some people think that hip hop is like, you know, like Lauryn Hill, like recently, she just said that hip hop, the music industry is like slavery. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it is. I heard like everybody that's getting all these big major deals and stuff, they saying like, I wish I would have never signed. I wish I would have stayed independent. Because when you get signed, you get so much, you got so much work to do. Like you sign a contract to a big artist, they gonna be like, okay, you gotta sell 300,000 copies by December. And if you don't, you fucking getting dropped from the label. And you're not getting all the money that you was promised. So you gotta work really hard. Like you gotta work really hard to try to meet what they saying. And then they say like, okay, you gotta do 3 albums in 5 years. You gotta do that, you know? So you like, oh man, I gotta put out an album next month. Like you gonna be stressing like, oh, I just put out an album 6 months ago, now I gotta put out another one. But that's your job, so that's just what you gotta do. Everybody gotta work hard. Everybody don't really like their job like that, but that's just what you gotta do.
of joy.